The trouble is, if you don't play the places that are complicated and difficult to get to, with really difficult languages to sort of deal with when you've got a crew and all these people coming in and trying to set up. If you don't do those places, all you do is America and Europe, you know, America and Central Europe, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, England. So, and I've done that, those places for the last, you know, God knows how many years. So I think the idea really, you know, was to sort of try to play places that have always said, why don't you come to us? You know, we have a big Phil Collins fan base here. It's just actually to do it before we stop.
Phil was adamant that he wasn't going to play anywhere he'd already played in the previous European tour.
If I'm going to go out on the road one more time, I'd like to go to South America and the Far East. And also maybe do some places that we've never played, like the places we're playing now on this tour.
Unfortunately, Disney, Phil's working on the musical for Tarzan, as you know, and they moved their schedule ahead.
That meant that I couldn't be away over that winter period in South America and the Far East because I was needed in New York at the rehearsals.
So we decided that we wanted to do the Middle East and Eastern Europe because we'd never ever been there, and it was something we always wanted to do.
It ends up that people don't like travelling to these places because of the kind of the press that it gets. So I'm hoping that when we go there, they'll be so pleased to see anybody. They'll love us.
We fly too close.
A couple of quick notes about what to expect and what not to expect when we're out there. A lot of places bags are going to have to be screened when we go, so make sure you leave them unlocked. Same plane as we had last time, same crew, a lot of people are the same on there. We're going to be a lot fuller. Most of the time, every seat on the plane is going to be taken.
So just to see how difficult this tour can be, we're playing Tallinn, Helsinki, Tallinn. I know. Just to see how many air miles we can get. Here we are in Tallinn, Estonia, a place I've never been to. It's very exciting to think that there are places that have known your music but never seen you. Kind of makes it much more interesting to go out on stage every night because people don't know what to expect.
So it's not a matter of being broke or bored.
I'm certainly not broke, and I'm not bored at all.
Is this a good place?
Oh yeah, it's good. You know, we have been rehearsing. I mean, we know this show backwards. You know, we've got some new things in it, but basically we know it. But then we had about 10 days rehearsal, and then we had about 4 days off. So now I'm hoping that everybody will remember everything, and we'll find out tonight.
45 minutes.
It's the same people every time.
Every day, you come.
The books are all sealed. Well, it was fantastic, really. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, but one hopes that the audience are going to kind of, you know, be as up for it as you hope. I mean, there were standing audiences. You see, standing audiences are usually much more outgoing than a seated audience. They're involved in all the songs from the word go, and so they sing Can't Stop Loving You, they sing Another Day in Paradise, Back to You, and in One More Night they sang, and that was the first time in the set that they kind of sung along. And I remember I got very kind of emotional. I thought, there's all these people in this country I've never been to, in this city I've never been to, you know, a long way away from where I live, and they were singing along to my song, you know. I hope you understand this. We've had a wonderful concert tonight, and you are a lovely audience, and thank you very much for all your love. Really. It was very touching, and they did it a lot last night. So the audience was fantastic. Good night, Estonia. Good night, Tallinn. You've been fantastic. Gotta go home. Got to go home. Gotta go home.
Great audience.
Fantastic. I mean, it's what amazes me is that the kind of kids that age are not supposed to like me.
Why not?
Well, you know, I'm supposed to be too old for them, and they're supposed to be into younger, hipper things. You know? And yet, when it comes down to it, they like the songs, they like the records, and so they come to the concert.
When you were talking to them in Estonia, boy, they really, that was fantastic.
I have to think of something different though,
For Sunday, nobody was, because the great thing was that they never ever expected you know, to speak their language, and it was just like, wow, yeah, to roll on that kid, that was fantastic. Yeah, that was very good.
Can I talk to you, sir?
Was that you knocking on my door at 2:30 this morning and running?
Who was that? I would like to know who that was myself.
Was that you?
No.
Don't play dumb now.
I don't know what you're talking
Because I heard a giggle.
You did?
My doorbell was rang too.
You heard that?
And I was in the middle of one of those dreams you don't want to wake up from. You know that kind? Crazy color?
That's the giggle I heard.
Whoa!
Thank you. That's the giggle I heard.
Yeah, like that's the man for the
An extra hugger.
My brother, when I grow up, I'm still a big brother, and he's still a big brother.
Right.
Okay, let's do this before he turns.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to perform before these people. We'd like to thank you for the opportunity to perform and to do our gift. We thank you for the life of this child crying. We thank you for the beautiful voice of him. We want to thank you for the safety and health. Thank you, Mother. We want to thank the mother for taking the child.
If I can't bend the leg properly, then I kind of tend to sort of trip.
Why'd you say ow?
Oh, this is the blue one, yeah?
Why'd you say ow?
Because my knee is strong, but I can't bend my leg quite as much as I'd like. My knee and my leg is giving me more problem than I'd like. This year I turned in a hotel room. I was just turning slightly, and suddenly something happened, and I left it for about 2 months, and then so eventually they found out that it was a meniscus which had cracked. So I had to have an operation, which I had on August the 4th. But that was cool. Started rehearsals, everything was fine, and then I fell on stage at second night in Helsinki, and that really hurt my knee. It was agony. Well, I don't know what happened. You should watch it back because I have no idea. I just went, I did a turn, and I went for one. I don't know if I tripped over Holly stuff. I tripped on something.
You tripped over it?
Well, I don't remember tripping. I don't remember it giving way like.
No.
What you should do is get a visually achieving and strap it properly.
My problem is that if I strap it, I can't bend my leg.
Yeah.
Which means that I trip on things.
Yeah.
This is the fucking problem. And now I'm sitting here with this kind of strip of muscle across the top of my thigh, well, bottom of my thigh, actually. And it hurts to bend my leg too much, which, of course, to other people, it actually makes me look... They probably think, well, he's getting old a bit and getting on a bit now. It's very embarrassing when you do that. It's kind of day 6. We had a day off yesterday, where we travelled from Finland to Russia. I mean, I keep being told that Russia, you know, Moscow and St. Petersburg can be very dangerous places.
You know, we get so much propaganda, you know, like what these places are going to mean. You're almost scared to death to go.
It's kind of one of those places, it's a bit like going to Japan. It's totally disorientating when you get here because you've heard a lot about it. You can't read anything. Everything is different. And it's extraordinary to be here. I mean, it's quite thrilling. You know, it's very exciting.
Вообще, конечно, это очень удивительно для меня.
Okay.
Nobody can drink alone. Welcome to Moscow. Big families in there. This is the Kremlin.
That's the Kremlin.
It's like a triangle
Now, in the
fortress.
gardens, can you walk in the gardens?
Yeah.
Actually, being in Moscow was quite extraordinary. Yeah, just being there, having heard so much about this place all my life.
All the way up till I was 15 years old, all I used to see on TV was like either Castro and the Russians and back in the Khrushchev days and Brezhnev and all those boneheads. And here I am, like a couple blocks from Red Square.
Was something that I couldn't possibly believe 20 years ago. That you'd be able to walk round the Kremlin and look around the river and walk through Red Square. It seems like, that was totally amazing. It really was totally amazing to be able to do that.
Actually, KGB building this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The one over
The
there?
Lubyanka, is that the Lubyanka now?
Yes, this is
Oh,
Lubyanka.
that's Lubyanka.
Famous Lubyanka.
With the 10 floors down.
Yeah.
under
Oh,
this.
yeah. Are they still?
Yeah.
Does that still exist or what?
Of course.
Is it still? What is it now? Is it?
No,
is it
it's probably
differently?
archives, but before it was like a prison.
But it's not called KGB anymore.
It's not called, it's like a Federal Security Bureau.
Is it still the place? Same place?
Yeah, it's the same
organi- yeah.
KGB. They just changed the names and that's it. And nothing else.
Well, Moscow, I almost went to jail by 2 crooked cops. Just out of nowhere, these 2 cops show up. Hey, passport. Huh? Passport? I don't have my passport. I just checked in. Tim Brockman had it, so it was just like an ugly experience.
I'm not sure what goes on in that, in the wheelings and dealings within this new system.
Moscow, I think, left everybody a little, little not sure what the deal is.
It's a sad system. It's a sad thing just to see people that look kind of just unhappy and beaten up all the time. I'm not sure if maybe a couple of generations down the line it's going to be a much nicer place because the old school is over at that point, and there'll be generations coming along that hadn't experienced the Cold War and some of the stuff that went on, because the freedoms that they're feeling now are still relatively new in historical times.
All people like when the famous musician comes to our native country, to our town for the first time, and it is always a great event for us, for all of us, for all of these thousands of people who came to this concert.
There's a lot of people stuck in traffic. Oriane went back to the hotel. Oh no! Yeah, Nicholas was in tears. I don't want to go to the concert. I said, put the Genesis DVD. I don't want no Genesis DVD. I want to go to the concert. Really, yeah.
St. but it was absolutely stunning, amazing.
It stuck out because the audience was just fantastic.
The people were singing, man, like loud, every word of every song.
But everybody was really into it. You know, they kind of got up and they were dancing and they were clapping and shouting. So that was good. That was a nice surprise. So the gig was great.
In Moscow, the audience was more of a kind of an upscale audience, though, compared to, say, St. Petersburg was just regular people. And I know the regular people were in the back.
There was, you know, such a taste of the old world there. I mean, the VIPs got the front section, and you got the feeling like we were still in the old government, you know, where the elite political people were sitting in the front. And all the people on the sides were waiting to see what their reactions so they could behave accordingly. So if they clapped, they would clap. If they stayed cool, they had to stay cool. That kind of thing. But we finally got them going, standing up and dancing and stuff. And the whole place was going crazy.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's certainly the back half of the show. The last 2/3 of the show were like any other show.
Yeah.
The first third was just a little cold. I mean, I never played it before, so I don't know the level of how much they are. I mean, I know they were enjoying it, but you know, apparently there were some big movers down the front in the front few rows. So it wasn't a great gig experience, although in the end it got there. But I was impressed. You know, I was impressed with the place.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was so. You know, I could feel that cold, and I couldn't figure out because we went looking for all the doors, and there was nothing open for the fans.
You know, they can use them occasionally, you know what I mean? It's just that consistent thing. It was the same feeling.
Well, the trouble is they can't switch them on and off, the fans. They're on.
What?
The fans are on all the time. They can't switch them on and off. They just feed the smoke in when they need them. The fans are running all the time.
Yesterday I went to bed early. I mean, in terms of being Swiss time, it would be about 9 o'clock in the evening, but it was about 11 o'clock where we were in Russia. I went to bed just because I was tired from 4 nights, you know. And it's just weird. It's a long show. There's a lot of talking, a lot of interviews and stuff to do because everybody's excited to see you.
He's just got a lot on his plate, you know, and it's the way he wanted things to be. But you know, I don't envy what he's going through out here because the show is hard enough. Then worrying about your family and your kids and devoting the time to them, and then all the interviews and all the other, you know, the press pulling at him and all this. It's a lot of stuff for one guy to have to deal with. You know, he gets the ultimate perks of it in terms of the fame and fortune, but it takes a toll on you.
It's one of those moments when you really wish you'd stayed home, you know? You don't know whether it's going to be okay or disaster. I did one of these with Genesis once, Tampa, 40,000 people. Did one song, couldn't sing. Walk off. Disaster. Sometimes you just forget about it. I mean, it's not a question of feeling bad. I don't mind feeling bad. It doesn't matter. It's a question of whether you can actually physically sing in a show. So we'll find out.
just say the word. Won't everybody just say the word? Thank you.
Go on and take a bow and introduce the band. That's all. Just introduce the band and come back up again.
Everybody should go on there.
Yeah, everyone should go on. Introduce the band and then come off again. That's your fuck. Well done. I'm a fucking hero, man.
What have we done?
Just go on, take a bow, introduce the band, take another bow, come off. Okay. Where are the horns? Horns! We're going to just do a bow and that's it.
Got it.
Okay?
We're missing.
Where's Dan? Dan. Dan is there. Right? Let's go. Where's Arturo? Where's Arturo?
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't sing anymore. I'm sorry. I have a cold, I can't sing, but I see this sign down here. It says we waited for 30 years. So I have to carry on. But thank you very much from all of us for being such a wonderful audience at you. And for me, half a man I started out being. Thank you very much, Vilnius. I love you, and thanks for your love. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.
Oh, I felt for you up there, mate. I really felt for you. I was like hurting every time you did it.
Yeah.
I'm planning Plan B at the moment, so we'll see.
I can't see me singing in a day.
No, I can't either. But I think the best plan is probably the best shows to try and move are the two Prague shows because it gives you 3 clear days, and it also is the easiest place to get back to because everywhere else is a nightmare to get back to. I mean,
What do we do? We go to Prague. What do we do?
We go to Prague because it's better hotel there. It's better to hang out there anyway. If you're going to rest, it's the best place to rest. As here is not great. Go to Prague. I'll go, and we'll see what happens.
I stayed in Prague. I just stayed in my room for 3 days. I didn't go anywhere except for the press conference. So I think I'm okay. I mean, you feel bad, but I mean, it's the people that travel to the show. There were so many people that went to Prague from all over the world. And it's just you just feel the responsibility. You just feel you let everybody down. I can only say sorry.
That's right. That's fine. That's okay. We came to Lyon to see you last year.
Yeah. I made that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Lovely to meet you.
You're welcome. I think I got it in St. Petersburg. I remember the moment that I think I got it. It was very, very cold on stage, but the lights were very hot, and there was a draft, a big wind while we were playing, and I remember saying, close the doors because this is really not good, and it's almost, I had a poltergeist moment, like the movie when the hand comes out and just covers the person with an aura, and I just sort of, wow. There you go. Thank you very much. And I got this cold, and I came out very quickly, which is good, and it's working through. Sometimes colds hang on for 10 days, 2 weeks. I think this is working its way through very quickly. I'm now on the stage, but I'm going to change my job, is what I'm going to do. That's why I'm stopping. 30 years of anxiety about getting a cold and disappointing people. It's a lot of pressure.
Já se o žádného doktora nevozím, protože měl jsem 2 doktory, jeden byl krčař.
Hi, this is Phil Collins here. well, I'm backstage, so I'm here, and we've done a sound check, and if anybody's in any doubt as to whether I'm going to play tonight, then there's no doubt. I'm here, and we're ready, and so people should come along. Tonight, we'll play all the songs you like.
Minden dalt, minden dal, minden dalt, dal means songs. Dalt,
minden dalt,
eljátszunk.
Minden dalt eljátszunk,
amit szerettek.
Minden dalt eljátszunk, amit szerettek. And you'll be pleased to know that that is the end of my Hungarian. Anyway, thank you for coming. I feel a lot better now, thank you. And we're going to carry on with some songs from way, way back. Tonight is a celebration.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I find myself thinking, Jesus, he's going to be tanking tonight. You know, not tanking, but, you know, this is going to be a rough... And he comes out and does the best show of the run.
No, I'm fine. I mean, you know, colds don't go away very quickly. But, I mean, I had 3 days in Prague. So, I'm certainly over the worst of it, and I can sing. So, you know, it'll probably be another 3 or 4 days before I'm back to 100%. But all we're worried about really is whether I can sing or not. Let's face it. Nobody cares how I feel. They just want me to sing, and that's fair enough. So it's just, I'm here to do the show, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Sing it with your Just take me home. Take me home. Good night. Thanks for everything. Love you, Budapest. Ciao.
Where we are in the tour, it seems like everybody's pretty tired. And I'm coming off of a cold. It seems like, and Phil came off of a cold. And I think everybody else has had something, you know, as far as some kind of disease.
Well, the trouble is, you know, I mean, of course, it's great to be travelling with everybody, you know, but the trouble is that once one person in the family gets sick, it goes round, you know. And Matthew has now got a cold. You know, I mean, the family are leaving tomorrow to go to Athens because the next 2 or 3 days, 3 or 4 days, are actually a bit rough schedule-wise, and also, you know, hotel-wise. You know, I mean, you do need certain things for the kids, and it's just not there. So they're going to Athens. So I'll have 4 or 5 days solitude, as it were, without knowing that I won't get it back. It was very sweet. I checked into the hotel, and the manager said, "Mr. Collins, this is the best hotel room we have in Croatia." Well, in Zagreb, anyway. It was and it's a lovely room as well. It's lovely. It's a lovely room. Some of the places, you know, they kind of have rules unto themselves. I mean, you get very spoilt, you know, in some ways, touring America and places like that, because they're used to daily concerts, whereas some of these places just don't have concerts, either very rarely or if ever. You know, I mean, in Romania, I don't get many people going through Romania. And of course, that has a knock-on effect. They don't actually believe you're coming. So you have to do more promotion to convince them that you're coming.
Greetings! I'm here. I'm going to go then.
Welcome. Just a second. In 10 seconds, we are live now on news television in Romania. Yes.
I just said hello to anyone, otherwise you can't.
Mr. Collins, welcome.
Thank you.
How was your flight?
About an hour. Oh, it's very nice. I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you. We have to go.
Yeah, I'm in resting my voice.
Your fans, what are you telling your fans?
But yeah, come to the show.
I talked to this girl that worked for the record company in Romania, in Bucharest, and she's telling me, I was asking her, so what was it like, you know, blah, 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 this and that. And it's exactly how I grew up until I was 15, you know. I mean, I left. Cuba is still that way now. But I'm looking at these people and saying, man, these people are free.
Well, we're in Bucharest, Romania. First time, of course. And we're in an aircraft hangar. This is where we're playing tonight. It's very cold back here, which means it's probably cold out there, although the people are probably warmer. But it's been it's interesting. Lots of Secret Service. Never alone. Never alone.
Since I come from Cuba originally, I grew up in communism. There's a little different twist for me when I play to some of those audiences. Just because I think about it sometimes even when I'm playing, like, man, these people, you know, they're so happy. You know, they're really going nuts. They're loving the show, right? They're really enjoying this. And what, 15, 14 years ago or whatever, they would have never been able to do this. You know?
Knowing the history and what they've been through, I mean, I think I can't relate. You know, I mean, I know I can't. You know, so I appreciate, you know, the people that, you know, what they seem to be like looking past it and going on with their lives.
Oh, night off. A day off and a night off.
This tour it's been tough because we've been dealing in territories that don't get that many shows, so they don't necessarily have the infrastructure that a lot of other places have. They don't have the local crews that know how it works, so you can't rely on that kind of support. And from that point of view, it's been tough on the guys, especially on the heads of departments, because they've had to organise these people who don't really know what's going on. The other thing, just talking to Tim, they're having an horrible time at the gig. Setting up, I mean, it's just setting up slow, and there's no food down there at the moment. So we're going to feed the band at the hotel before they go. But do you actually want to do a sound check? I mean, is it, you know, we could do a band check and do a... Well, you don't want to be hanging about down there long, that's all.
I saw him more when you lived
I don't want to be hanging about there.
No, it doesn't sound like it's a place to have. I always tell my guys, never assume anything. The only thing you can assume is that things are going to go wrong, or they're out to get you, or both.
Life on the road. We haven't had a telephone all day, we haven't had internet access. We didn't get power for the catering until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I don't know.
So they're running really late down there. The main problem, I think, has been the gigs they're just not together down there. There's nothing's where it should be, nothing's there when it says they say it's going to be there. And we should find out when we get there.
But the Greek promoter, you know, he had done U2, you know, so he bound to have known what he was doing, you know, with us, but he just didn't care.
No, because they said the cherry picker, it'd be quicker. That's what they said.
They had a
cherry picker when Dave Rowe was talking to them, yes.
When was this?
This was the week that we've been talking to them. The cherry picker is basically a basket that gets you up to the roof, and it's easy to move around. What they sent us was a crane, which obviously is a lot harder to move around.
They're telling me that they won't. They've got the cherry pickers because they won't let it on the floor out there.
But they let the crane on.
But they let a full-blown crane on this side, yeah.
Exactly.
I've never seen such a fucking cock-up in all my life. Why didn't we have a cherry picker instead of this stupid thing? Do you know why? Why? I don't know this technical. Well, it's your job to know, man.
It's your job to know that stuff. At the end of the day, it's your job. Like, this is my job, that's your job. And if we'd known we didn't have a cherry picker, we would have pre-rigged this and not done it now. It would have taken half the time. The problem is you brought this fucking stupid crane in here instead of a cherry picker, which is why we can't have everything, which is why we're compromising the show. Half the lights aren't up because of you, because you don't communicate. That's why. And next time I see you, I don't want to see you in the fucking hall.
You know, when I've seen Tony have to be the manager and ream somebody who was just being stupid and obnoxious and stuff, he's great at it. I would never want to cross Tony. And I think you'd have to go a long ways to do that.
No, I won't keep my voice down. I'm not going to keep my voice down when you try and screw our fucking show up by miscommunication.
Where are they?
Okay.
There.
All right.
You're back in Greece now to play for the Greek audience. What is your impression of Greece?
I like Greece. You know, we were late getting in because the trucks were delayed in Bulgaria. Bless their hearts. And then, of course, it was a bit of a struggle getting in because not everything was as it was supposed to be. And here we are running late, but the show will be good.
The last piece of equipment
I'm here, don't worry. I'm here all day. I'm trying to arrange all the mess up. I know, that's why.
This guy does not give a damn.
They paid them. They paid the catering assistants. So they went home.
Well, we did pay them. They finished.
Yeah, but we haven't finished yet.
They know.
Oh, you know. Okay, fucking great.
But I don't know these deals. I don't know those deals.
And who fucking does? What are you doing here? You don't know nothing, man.
I know.
You don't know fucking shit. All fucking day.
The guy that was really screwed up was definitely, he's trying to bury it. I think the production manager is trying to bury the promoter.
Oh, yeah.
Screw it.
But it's just a shame because so many other people suffer around that. It's kind of like having Bush as our president.
Yeah, I think we're looking at 9:40 showtime.
All right, man, why don't you come on in and go start checking all the other stuff for the show so we're ready to go.
Wandering around. Danny's gone up on the bridge. I don't know what bridge that is.
Yeah, to jump.
He's going to go up the bridge to bring the family down by hand because the traffic isn't moving.
Oh. We have people changing clothes. We have people leaving valuables. She can't be coming through and bringing people down this hall.
Yeah, my ass is out.
She's on.
She gawked at it.
She understands.
No, she does not.
She understands.
Well, she understands, but she
Never
does not
again
care.
to working here.
We thought she understood that, but she this man is half naked and she walks through. It's not appropriate.
I don't like, my hairy ass being out in front of strangers.
England, we call it
My hairy ass
club.
is out all the time. But in Athens,
It's a cute hairy ass.
thank you. But, I was a little embarrassed, and it's hard to embarrass me.
Sir, listen to me.
Yes.
We originally allowed this to be open with the agreement that they would only use it for stretchers.
Yeah, that's right.
When first they continuously go by here,
Who's
then
doing
we
that?
will stop it. And we stopped it.
We stopped it already.
No, you did not. You allowed it to happen.
been here.
And I will not let this occur.
Someone's a little less tense than me. You should take it.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for each person in this circle tonight, Lord. And we thank you for bringing us to Athens, Lord. We ask that you calm the nerves of everyone in this circle, Lord. Calm the nerves of our crew, Lord. They need some peace right now. Lord, we ask that you allow everything to go well with this show and see them to their next destination safely and easily. In Jesus' name we pray.
Hey, Nicky.
What's the matter? What's the matter? do a quick huddle right now.
Take it, Nick.
I'm so glad that little Nicholas made it to the show and that he's safe and sound. Thank you, amen.
Thank you very much for coming. It's been a long time, us coming to Greece, but here we are. Here we are.
Talk to me. I'll open it up. If I see one person in here, it's going back in front of me.
That's fair enough.
If I see one person, if I see him or anybody else walk down this hallway when I got people trying to dress for the show out there, I'm putting it back in front. I'll open it up. You guys go the other way.
In the case we have something that happens, in that case, I'll go in jail. You won't go in jail. I'll go in jail.
No, but what's going to happen that's
I don't
gonna go
know.
around?
I don't know. It takes some time, and it's difficult to do.
No. This is the right way.
No, I've got people getting dressed in here for the show. I've got entertainers that are coming in here to get dressed. I do not want a bunch of people walking through here when they're getting dressed for the damn show.
Nobody will be walking.
Bullshit. That's not what he's saying. So you two figure it out and walk around. But let's not use this as a walkway. Okay? It's not that hard. It's not that much further. You didn't even know the way around there. I fucking showed you the way around.
But I am the doctor.
It's not that hard. I don't care if you're a doctor.
Okay. But
I really don't care.
I'm going to jail.
No, you're not going to go to jail.
Okay. You don't know.
I don't
about
understand why you would go to jail. You can walk around into the same goddamn room.
Okay.
Right?
All right. But you have to open this.
I will open it. I don't want to see anybody coming through here.
Nobody
Because
will.
I will
Nobody.
fucking block it back up.
Okay.
I'll block that one back up too, and nobody will come through here.
I will be responsible about this.
Okay.
I've been here for.
Why not? Go to the doctor. He can fix himself.
He's as big as you. I never seen someone.
See ya. I said I'd come, and I came. Good night, Athens. Good night. Love you. Pass that on. No!
I'd never been to Istanbul, so that was an amazing thing. And I went straight to the Blue Mosque, and I walked all the way back along the Bosphorus, looking at that amazing bridge. And one side's Asia and one side's Europe, and you realise you're on the crossroads of a different world there. And you're very aware that Istanbul is not like Athens, because Athens, you know, people go on holiday and stuff, and we know about it. But Istanbul was a real first flavour of what it's like to be somewhere else.
One thing on the Turkish thing, because, you know, Turkey, since they have been told, you know, this whole thing about are they going to enter European community or not, until now, so they're all a bit peeved about thinking that people don't like them, you know, in Europe. So if you could just say something, you know what I mean?
I love Turkey. I've always loved Turkey.
Exactly. So if you could just say something like, I'm so much looking forward to see, you know, Turkey, and
Well, I
we
like
love this.
Turkey. I've
Exactly.
been to Turkey.
But you know, they have this thing going on that, like, oh, you know, the Europeans don't like them anymore. And, you know, I know,
Nothing to do with me.
I know. But you know, it's just one of
God, the
those
things you have to worry about.
I always say, you know, the great thing with Phil is that he always wants to treat people the way he likes to be treated himself. So it's very simple with Phil. He is on time. He will do what he has to do. My job is to keep things on time.
I want to take, can we take a picture with the carpet?
No, Tisal, ask your question, please.
I want to learn about what you're thinking about Turkish football teams and Turkish carpet.
I have no particular affinity with Turkish football. In terms of carpets, I have carpets in my house that may well have emanated from Turkey.
Awesome.
But we don't know.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and ring you up. To go back and look on the...
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tisal, I will come back.
She's got to come back. I'd get out of here if I were you. I'd leave if I were you. Thank you for coming. You're welcome.
Thanks, Phil. You asked me, can we take picture of the carpet? I said no. The first thing you do is ask, before you ask your question, you say, can we take a picture with the carpet? You know, it's just beyond me. You are Harriet. You are the biggest newspaper in this country. And now, we talked about it before,
And I said to you, no, we are not here to promote the carpet seller.
So I'm a little bit apprehensive as to what it's going to be like in some of those places, and what's it going to be like in Beirut. You hear that, you know, it's a bit like what people hear about Northern Ireland, you know, and then you go to Belfast and actually life goes on normally. It's just one little part. So you just avoid that part. And in Beirut, maybe it's the same. I don't know. One gets the impressions from seeing the news over the last 20 years that it's a building site, you know. And yet we're playing there. So it can't be. It can't be that. Otherwise we wouldn't be playing there. So, and it can't be dangerous. Otherwise I guess we wouldn't be playing there.
I always remind myself of my conversations I used to have with Americans when the IRA was bombing London. And people would say, well, aren't you worried? And you say, no, I live in London and, you know, yes, it might happen, but the chances are very, very rare, and that went on for years.
You know, I was expecting to see bombers all over the place, and you know what I mean? I mean, you and I went out there and went downtown. It was incredible. And the people, like, really nice, you know, and they're Muslim people, you know. You're here in the States, like, well, these people, you know, they're wearing the ropes and the thing, and these are great people.
They were saying in Beirut, you know, the radio stations in the war there, that, oh yes, they used to play In the Air Tonight, you know, in the tanks before they went in, you know. And you don't think about things like this. The songs became very personal to them because they heard them so much. And, you know, it's just amazing. You know. You think of the haphazard way the songs are written, and then suddenly they end up being someone's flagship song, you know. It's great.
We got the Prime Minister and then the Leader of the Opposition sitting next to each other. They hate each other. So it's a photo opportunity for everybody.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like a band.
Huh? Hi. Where are you going to sit?
Yeah, on the cage.
You got tickets? I mean, have you got seats? You got tickets? Sold out.
You sell them tickets?
Yeah.
With a discount, I hope.
Ever the avarice.
Oh, man.
Well, I give the kid one. So is that the Prime Minister?
There's a Prime Minister and the wife's president. That's why they got the picture.
So they look smiling.
Of course, they had to. It was like a pack of
Was he
words.
sitting smack bang in the middle?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he was all right. He having a good time.
Very important picture we have here, because we have the Prime Minister of Lebanon and the wife of the President of Lebanon. But so we have two different parties, and we all know how about the politics of Lebanon can be volatile, I think is the word. So this is the picture for the Lebanese people as far as politics goes. Voila.
Just travelling from Beirut to Tel Aviv is impossible. I mean, not forget the gig, just actually leaving one place and going, you have to go via somewhere else. Politics.
I mean, the crazy part about this is that Beirut to Tel Aviv by road is 150 miles. We could truck all the gear from Beirut to Tel Aviv, no problem. But no, we have to fly all the gear from Beirut to Cyprus and then from Cyprus to Tel Aviv.
We had to stop here in Cyprus on the way from Beirut. You want to ask me why? I don't know why. You know, that's the rules. You know, this is a kind of place where they're really paranoid.
Yeah.
You know, about what do the people in Beirut think about us.
A lot of the questions here in Israel are around the Middle East and the Palestinians. I was wondering if in Beirut the journalists were asking you about coming to Israel?
No, they didn't mention it.
Did you have any fears coming to Israel?
No, I didn't. I presumed that if I was coming, it was safe enough to come, you know. I mean, people have been very, very friendly to me. I can't see what the fuss is about. The worst thing, the most difficult thing is the press conference, because, especially in a place like this, you know. Press conferences are for important things, you know, like the Prime Minister will hold a press conference, or the Foreign Secretary, you know, will call a press conference to say something important. And you find yourself, you know, some pop star sort of standing up there with journalists that are almost thinking, I feel, who does he think he is? But I answer questions, if I can.
Why did you decide not to go to the Palestinian territories?
Why did I?
Decide not to go to the Palestinian territories given the fact that it's a neighboring territory.
My manager.
No one offers a go.
To me, there are no boundaries. There are no good places, bad places. I wish it wasn't like this. I really do wish it wasn't like this. I'm an entertainer. You know, I'm not here to preach politics or whatever. As far as I'm concerned, the more we can be compassionate towards our fellow man, the sooner we can do that, the better. That's as far as my politics go. It's, you know, we're all here on this earth for so X amount of time, and it just seems that we should all try and get on with each other, but life can't always be like that. Every time I try to think it through, I oversimplify it. And of course, there's people that have lost families, loved ones to bombs. It goes deep, and people are afraid to not forget. But anyway, it's a strange, because it's, you know, you've never been to these places. It's strange. It's a cultural shock sometimes. You know, you're used to going to America, you're used to going to France, you're used to going to Germany. Now, kind of almost used to going to Japan. But nevertheless, these places are, you're actually going to Jerusalem, having heard about the place for all your life, you know, and Tel Aviv, you know, it's places that you've never ever been to before.
It's like India. Yeah. It reminds me of India. Yeah. Around the streets of it. It's really pretty run down. It's very run down. Yeah. You know, it's not the image you get of Israel, is it?
We'll see what the gig's like. Of course, it's raining, as it always does do when we have an open air show.
All the weather guys at the airport, and this is supposed to blow over within 20 minutes.
And then?
And we're supposed to be clear for the rest of the night. But this wasn't even supposed to happen.
Exactly.
That's what he got from the first one. Yeah. So I think, you know...
I don't think you can rely on it.
He said it was 4 o'clock and... Yeah, and, after 4, so I wouldn't, you know, if this blows over in 20 minutes and we get lucky, yes, but I think it's going to rain again.
We need to know from you, how much time do you need to let the public know?
Okay. Doors should be open in 30 minutes, so it's late. But I've called, and we are the only spot in Israel at the moment that it rains for 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. We are in communication with the Air Force forecast. What I suggest is not to do anything, because I advertise that it's going to take place and it's a one-off, rain or no rain, we are doing the show. Okay. So I'll
tell you what we should do then. Before showtime, about 15 minutes beforehand, you should get out and make an announcement off stage. You can do it. Say, if it rains heavily, we will have to stop, but we will start again. And then at least people know and they won't go crazy.
You forced me to take my better shirt. Sorry.
No, you don't have to be on the stage. You can do it off stage.
So, just a public service announcement.
Yeah.
If it does start to rain, sometime before... I mean, we can't do it after True Colours, really. It'll have to be before True Colours. There will be a decision made to go straight to Paradise.
Okay.
Cool. And we'll miss out those 2 tunes if it starts to rain. If it starts to rain during those 2 tunes, then we're fucked. And we'll probably do both encores. You know, we'll assume we're doing both encores.
Okay.
Can I take a picture with you? Yeah, sure.
a gig where we had to kind of man up because it was television. It was television because it was just so emotional. We kind of looked at one another and went, wow, man, this is kind of deep. This is kind of deep. Because of the joy that the people were bringing back to the stage from the music that we were transcending off the stage.
And you just think, it's quite extraordinary how music, and we're talking about my music, just travels, you know. And it's, you know, it's emotional to know that that's kind of, you know, it's out there and it's happening. The great thing about this tour is that we're coming to places that we've never been to before, and we know that there are people out there that want to hear the music. And tonight, the rain has held off, and you've been fantastic. So thank you for coming, Israel, Tel Aviv, wherever you've travelled from. Thank you for having us. I knew that there were people because I'd heard that there were fans, you know, in different places that we were playing, and that's why we were going. But the fun part has been negotiating the borders and the visas and the languages and the cultures. That's been great fun. Tough sometimes, especially for the crew.
I think all the guys in the crew will tell you that we do work hard, but we look after them very well as well. So I think overall they're okay about it, but it is tough, and they earn their money.
It's been a blur, really. Basically, we load into a show in the morning, set up, do the show, tear down, go to the airport, unload all the trucks, load it onto an Antonov. That's the Russian plane we use, the freight plane. Normally, we wouldn't have to load a plane or unload the trucks. Normally, we would do a show, load the trucks, and leave, you know.
Well, yeah, because of the scheduling of the tour and the politics of the Middle East, we had to rent this freight plane at the cost of around $250,000 per flight. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves losing money on the tour as a whole.
It's nice. It was weird to look at it because, you know, one thinks there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but there isn't. And at one point, we were going to lose money. But I wasn't going to cut the show back because, you know, once you've had a taste of what it could be, you don't really want to sort of take something out. And if you don't make money, so what? You know, I mean, I've got enough money.
It was a very difficult thing to put together, given the fact he didn't want to play anywhere he hadn't played before, and we had 75 people and 120 tons of gear sitting here in the Middle East. Now, where the hell are we going to go now? Because it's 3 days' travel to get anywhere.
You can ask him, he'll deny it, but my arm was twisted by Tony Smith, my longtime manager.
I managed to add these Dusseldorf shows on the basis that we were going to do the shows for Phil's charity.
I mean, I actually said I don't want to play anywhere again, that I've already just played on it, because that's going to share territory, you know, we're going back to the same place again. But it was a very, very generous, overly, stupid, generously offer to my charity, the Little Dreams Foundation.
But what it gave me was the opportunity then to get back into Europe so we could pick up places we hadn't already played.
You know, we added a second show here because of ticket demand, and we're subsidising. I mean, the foundation's getting 75-80% of the money. The rest of it will go to bolster up the rest of it, you know. So the foundation got a huge amount of money. You know, checks right there. I mean, $2 million or something. Okay, bye-bye.
The girl that was supposed to open the door.
That's a rhythm.
Danny, come here at the door. Come at the door, darling. Here.
Woo! Okay. We're supposed to be on this door.
I'll make sure that I'm there.
Should be a security on it all the time. See ya.
And right about now, this was kind of like the home stretch we all felt. When we get to Dusseldorf, it's the home stretch, so we all kind of excited and we feel like it's the last week of school.
But we still all do our whining, about things. I mean, once you're out here for a long time, it's going to happen. And it's mainly due to being tired and bored. Because basically, I feel like we get paid to do everything but the show.
Anybody tells you that you're out there for 9 weeks and it's like everything's hunky-dory. day, you're like super happy. You know, everybody has bad days, you know.
It's like you're hauling around a whole school of people. And we all come from different backgrounds. The one thing we have in common is we're all musicians.
Like every band, there are ups and downs. Sometimes the sense of humour is very different. And sometimes, Louis particularly has to, I seem to be the butt of his humour.
Bend over, Ronnie. Come on, you can make it. You can make it. You can get there.
Ronnie, take them panties off right now. Let's have sex. What? I keep looking at that ass every day, and I just want it so bad. I can start.
That is not hair. That's a pelt he's got behind that.
Leland makes everybody laugh in the dressing room because he's, you know, he can be very dry and very funny, and basically he's a good belcher and farter. You know, so that always makes us laugh. You know.
You know, I like all these people, but I don't really want to be around them all. You know, I mean, really, because we're around each other all the time.
But having the right combination of people means that when somebody's having a bad day, everybody leaves that guy alone, you know. I think it shows, you know, the way Phil is, and the management, you know, and Tony and everybody, you know, you want to have a happy camp, you know.
I think it's very true to say that the philosophy or the mood of a tour comes from the top. It comes from the artist, and I think that it's certainly, you know, in Phil's case, he's always keen to generate that kind of atmosphere. He's always concerned with every single aspect of his show.
It's actually, some of it is better than I expected. The people love it in the places we've been, because they don't get much, you know, and this is like, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I'm very conscious that when we go back to the UK, the show will appear slick. You know, a hardened critic, music critic, that sort of went to see Prodigy the night before and is going to go and see 9 Inch Nails the night after, would have a culture shock, you know. He'd say, this is like Vegas, you know.
Some people might think it's Vegas-y. I remember a review one time where we played an incredible show, and the review said something like, you know, nothing could date a song more than a sax solo. You know, and that's ridiculous, because what is this person listening for? I mean, is he listening or is he feeling?
It's like the word entertainment is a dirty word, you know. Show business is a dirty word. And at times I just think, what the fuck have I got to do? I know I don't have to worry about it. I know I could just say, hey, you know, to all the critics. And I do on the good days, but I can see it coming a mile away, really, like a ton of bricks, you know, like Ireland, Scotland and Belfast. And I'm just worried about it all coming off as shtick. And I've been sort of thinking, you know, what can one do to change that? And the answer is really nothing, because it is what it is now. So the man who said, hello, I must be going, nearly a quarter of a century ago, is finally true to his word. Phil Collins will no longer be troubling us with his average Joe presence. On the second Glasgow date of his final farewell, no, really, I mean it this time tour, something like that. Anyway, he tried hard not to look like a man who more or less had already given up and had his feet up beside the swimming pool. Perhaps Collins is always so innately unengaged and unengaging, but on this occasion, he was relying considerably on a somewhat excessive six-backing singers to jazz up his ordinary geezer act, and yanking the chain of an abnormally perky brass section when that extra layer of naff, Vegas and razzmatazz was required. As a marking of the end of the love affair between Collins and his fans, it was all very polished and professional, if surprisingly unemotional. But rarely can so much expertise have been assembled on a stage in the service of such a glib and inconsequential repertoire.
Now, Phil, you've got to snap out of this. There's nothing small about your act. Come on. Just think big. Look.
Come on! What is up, young man? I know how to pull strings.
When's the next tour?
It's fantastic,
One.
So, apart from the huddle, I can't let it go, can I? Without saying, this is the last show of, in the foreseeable future, the last tour. Don't know what that means, but...
So you better make it good.
It's been fun.
So don't suck.
We're all looking for something to do next week, right?
Real quick, just press that.
Keep the groove banging long enough.
It'll be all right.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Great. Almost great.
Let's go have fun.
Yep.
We rock.
Oh, give me a voice. Like a buffalo run. Well, the good thing is, of course, the last time I have to hear this fucking piece of music. No, I'm sorry, Salif. I love it. But enough is enough. Thank you. Okay. So basically, tonight is the last night of the last tour. Very special for us. Je pro nás velmi významný. Hope you enjoy it. It's very special night tonight. It seemed like the audience really understood what was going on. Because they were there from the very beginning, you know, sometimes it takes a while, or they're there and then we lose them and they come back. They were there from the beginning all the way through. We had a few bruising reviews from England, of course, which basically dismissed all my career. And I kind of went on with that last night, thinking that while I was singing, you know. And then tonight, you know, you just put it behind you. So I'm so glad we finished here than we did in England, because, well, the fans are great. It's nice to go out to an audience that really are oblivious to all that. They just come and they enjoy it and they show it. End of subject. End of story. Great. Well, DK, vielen Dank. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. This is the, as I said, this is the last gig of the last tour, so it's very special to us. We've enjoyed it. Really, 100%. You guys have been fantastic tonight. Thanks to you. Really, you've lifted us. You have lifted us. You know, it's the end of a tour like this, I don't know, 20 countries, it's very tiring, and an audience is very important, and you guys lifted us tonight, so thank you for that. Just one or two things. These guys and girls up here, I know they're not all here, but this band is probably the best band I could ever have in the whole world. I'd like to thank them. And of course, there are so many people backstage as well. Our crew who have had such a hard time going from country to country.
Our road crew, please show your appreciation for the road crew. The guys that drive the trucks, the guys that drive the buses, the people that cook the food that we eat, the people that put all this up, Michelle, who mixes the sound, Rowan, who does the lights, all these people. I know that most of you can't understand what I'm saying, but it's important that they know that I love them as well as anything else. So I just want to thank everybody for all their love and support for the last God knows how many years. This is for you.
Dreams will all come true. Being here with you. And time will fly. Carrying each day more than the day before. Till spring rolls by. And when the springtime has gone, will my love linger on? I'll be loving you. Always, with a love that's true. Always. Until forever is through. Till there's just me and you.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Good night. Remember this. We will. Love you. Gotta go home. Gotta go home. Let's go home.